Okay, let's make some cookies. So you're going to take like a baking tray and put a baking sheet on it. And then a mixing bowl. So you can mix everything into one bowl. And this is unfortunately how I mostly cook. I just feel what I should be putting in. So I have this amazing natural peanut butter, and it's got like chia seeds and flax seeds in it, which is just amazing. So I'm gonna put some of this in there, and then I'm gonna melt it. I'm just gonna pop it into the microwave so it can melt a bit, and I'll show you what we do. So you're gonna add some raw honey, or you can add some sugar, whatever you want to sweeten it up. And then instead of eggs, I'm going to be using ripe bananas because they also just bind food really nicely and they act as a really good egg replacer. So we'll just smush those up and make it all gooey together. The main ingredients for these delicious cookies, they're so healthy, they're just really, really good. And you don't need everything I'm going to put in, but you can use either eggs or bananas. You can use oats and peanut butter, and then something to sweeten it. And then you can add some cacao nibs or cacao powder. And you can do either or you could do both. We're going to do both on this one today, but we're adding cacao and maca. And then a little dash of baking powder. And a little bit of flour just to give it some more body. You can do it without the flour and just do peanut butter oat ones with some cacao, and then they're nice and raw still also, but I like it this way. It's nice if it's got some extra texture. Super yummy as a breakfast cookie too. So I'm gonna swoosh all this peanut butter and banana and sweeten stuff up together. If you don't have one of these, like, you can use a hand one as well, like a hand mixer. I just use this to make it super smooth. So just creaming it together. So I'm going to add some of this instant rolled oats. Make them yummy oat cookies. Can add enough in there, right? And I'm going to add a little bit of flour just to make it nice and a little bit doughy. Not too much. And some baking powder. Some baking powder in there. That's definitely enough. Some of this Cacao Maca is just going to be extra strengthening and supportive of, you know, energy, hungry days. You can add as much or as little as cacao as you want. I'm definitely adding cacao nibs into this mix. Make them nice and crunchy like chocolate chips. And some goji berries. I love these. In one pot, you're going to mush all of this together. Get it nice and smooth. Quite doughy, so this is about as much as I can do with the electrical one, so I'm going to do the rest with a wooden spoon. Okay, so you can see this is so gooey, which means it's going to taste amazing. It's so thick, but at least you know everything's mixed, right? So you just really want to make sure you had a good mix into this. Okay, now what we're going to do is just make them into little nice balls. They're going to rise a bit in the oven, so leave some space, don't do too many in one go. And I've got my oven at like 180, but even 160 is perfect. So I'll probably go for half an hour a batch. You can just make them whatever yummy size you want, form them nicely. Oh, this is going to be so good, guys. Peanut butter, oats, cacao, superfood, bananas, which is also always a win. I've never met a banana that I don't like. Okay, so I can do 6 at a time, depending obviously on how big your stove is, your oven is, how big your trays are. And that's it. And into the oven they go. I don't know if you can smell that through the phone, but your cookies are ready when they're not squishy anymore. Like that feels firm enough. I see it didn't record the part where I was pouring the cacao over, but I'm just letting my cookies cool down. And I've poured some of this delicious ceremonial cacao over it to make it extra cacao-y. And you can store it in the fridge just to cool it down there. Or you can just let it cool down at room temperature. And voila!